Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. We are gonna make vegetable broth or vegetable stock. I decided I wanted to try taking vegetables, and I got all of my potato skin from making mashed potatoes, which my boyfriend helped me make, and then different things like green onions, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, all sorts of stuff. We're gonna throw it in a nice big pot and add some bay leaves, pepper, salt, and just season it as we go. And we're gonna add about like 8 to 10 cups of water and just let it sit for like 30 minutes. Basically, the recipe says to bring the water to a boil and then cover and lower to a simmer for 45 minutes to an hour. The longer the better, as it will deepen the flavor. Allow the broth to cool for about 20 minutes and then adjust the salt to taste. So, then just throw it all in here. You can hear those tomatoes. I decided to go ahead and do this because I've been trying to, I have been loving the soup right now, and I really wanted to try to figure out a way to cut back on how much vegetable broth I'm buying, and this is a great way to do it if you guys are either big soup people or you want to save some money. It's a great way to do it. I have been trying to find different ways to do that. I also, I love composting rather than just throwing stuff away. Trying to get all these potato skins in here. But I personally have been wanting to try this, and then I just never got around to it, and I finally decided we are going to do it because I have just, whether it's tomato soup or potato soup or ramen soup, whatever it is, I have just been buying vegetable broth and sometimes buying 2 or 4 because I have a little bit of vegetable broth, and so I need more, and I'm like, we gotta stop this. We gotta figure out a way to just make this. And this is supposed to make a lot of vegetable broth. So that's great. I even want to try other things, like eventually learning how to make my own tomato soup and everything, but we'll get there, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add the water, and then just basically add all the ingredients to a large pot and add more water as needed to reach about 1 above the vegetables. I honestly probably need a bigger pot, but we're going to work with it. So here's the top. I need to be more like, I love watching different cooking shows now as I've gotten older, and I need to do have everything out and ready to go. I'm trying to start doing that, but I'm not always good at it. So I'm waiting for the water to boil, and then we are going to turn it down to a simmer for 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm just kind of doing laundry, cleaning, and doing that jazz today. And I am going to throw in a bay leaf, but I'm going to wait until it simmers. And then, actually, I don't know if I'm going to throw in a bay leaf because I feel like we have enough scraps in here that maybe just adding the salt and pepper is good. And, we can add some thyme and other seasonings as we want. Because what I'm going to do is, once I have the vegetable stock good to go, is I'm going to use some of it to make some acorn squash soup. Because that is what I plan to have for dinner. And probably not tonight, but that's what I want. So we're having a soup night tomorrow night. It's our last Tuesday night dinner at my work, and we are going to do Like, they're going to have Brunswick stew, and I am going to have acorn squash soup because I have 2 acorn squash that need to be used up. And so it was like perfect timing. Here is what it looks like right now. Just kind of a bunch of scraps just hanging out. We are now taking the broth and we are going to take a fine mesh strainer and we are going to take the vegetables and just make sure to strain it through the fine mesh strainer. I'm going to get a bigger spoon. And the idea is to just really try to squeeze the liquid out of the fine mesh strainer, and because the whole point is to make sure to get as much liquid as possible. And the nice thing is the vegetables can be composted. Once the vegetables have been through the fine mesh strainer, we are going to just go ahead and throw them in here so that they'll be ready to go in the compost bin. And I'm going to just keep on working on putting them in the fine mesh strainer. I added a little bit more salt because it says to season to taste, but it doesn't, you don't have to do it like 100%, because my thing is I'm trying to keep in mind that when I do add, like make my soup, I will be adding more salt, so I don't want, or seasoning just in general, so I don't want to completely, you know, add a bunch and then go and over salt it. You can see that even you can see that it's a very nice broth color, which is what I'm going for. I am impressed with how much the broth this made. I already got the mason jars out. I want to order more mason jars, or either hopefully someone nice who is watching this video will order me some mason jars that I can use, that are basically ones I can use for when I make broth, or also for when I use, I also want to try making my own mayo, because I feel like I use mayo a lot for things like chickpea salad, as well as doing BLT salad. I mean, not for BLT sandwiches. Oh my word. Can't use my words, right? So I want to try to, I found like a recipe for that, and I'm just really trying to learn how to cook more without having to like always buy things, because I find it really fun as well. Still trying to figure out what I want for lunch. Ugh. I do not know what I want for lunch. I brought some soba noodles. I found this recipe by Cheap Lazy Vegan that I want to try, but I don't know. I think because it's so much time has gone by, I'm not feeling it right now. And so I'm kind of feeling like I want to do something else, something easy. I have some chicken already cooked, so I might just do that. Plus, that kind of needs to be used up. This does kind of take a while, especially depending on how much you cook, but it is definitely doing its job. So, I am satisfied. And now have a new method on how I am going to do broth in the future. No more buying vegetable broth. Especially because I make it a goal to eat vegetables every week in some form or way. I was so bummed because there were only 1 pack of soba noodles left at the grocery store. I'm going to Walmart tonight, and I'm kind of hoping to find like at least another pack of soba noodles because I want the soba noodles to last me all week for lunch. This recipe sounds so good. You even use that gochujang sauce in it, so it definitely sounds like something my sister would love. Whew. I'm going to work on finishing this up, and then we will get to the mason jar. All the vegetable broth is done. I put a bunch in mason jars, but then I had to use containers for 2. One got like really filled, so we'll probably put that one in the fridge because you can put it in the refrigerator and it'll last up to like 5 days, but then you can also freeze it, which is great. I am going to put most of them in the freezer. I looked at the recipe that I want to make for the acorn squash, and it calls for 4 cups of vegetable broth. So I'm thinking we're going to put the 2 that are in the containers in the fridge and try to like just use those. I think that should be enough broth. And then like if we don't use it all, we'll put it in the freezer and picked. So I got this broth, this broth, this broth, this, and then this one, which that one is really filled up, but that's why I'm going to use that one first. So that's part of what's so great about it, and then I can still compost the vegetables, so it's like works out perfectly for me. So plus the fact that saving money, I am going to go ahead and work on cleaning it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me like what I feel like some people like definitely feel like it would be gross, but I've been very curious about it for a long time, and I just finally had like a place where I was like comfortable actually giving it a shot. Plus like with inflation, it's like everything costs so much more, so I feel like that's another reason why I was like, why not try it? Plus, I did not know I loved soup. Like, I always have liked soup, but I feel like I've used broth a lot more now than I ever used to. So I think that's another reason why I went ahead and did it. So I have a lot of other things I would love to try making because I've just learned, especially because I love going to the farmer's market and I learned from them. I would love to try to start making more of my own things. I love baking and cooking, and would you guys ever try this, or would you guys feel Or do you guys just think that's like gross? If someone was making this and selling it at the farmer's market, would you guys do that? I'll see you guys next time, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!